This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here talking about missing and unsolved murder.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. So I'm about to tell you a story, and I bet you $1,000. This is going to make you so mad. I already know it. Trust me. You're going to get so mad when you hear this story.
I bet I am, but you gonna pay the $1,000 if I do get mad?
No, you pay it if you get mad.
No. I want $1,000. I don't want to lose $1,000.
Right. Just like Irma. I'm over betting. I've been hanging out with Irma too much. Sorry.
Yeah, she rubbed off.
Yeah. This is the case of the Millbrook twins. Jeanette and Danette Millbrook disappeared on March 18, 1990 in Augusta, Georgia, which is about 2 hours away from Atlanta. The girls were about 15 when they went missing.
Oh, pretty young.
Yeah. And the event of the day that they went missing, it has not been really very documented good. And you're going to understand why.
Okay.
By all accounts, Danette and Jeanette, they was normal teenage girls, but they also was homebodies. They loved being at home with their family.
Okay.
Early in the afternoon on March 18, 1990, it was a Sunday. The girls just left church. Their family has been struggling a little bit, so the pastor gave their mother some money to go to the local chicken joint. They went to the local chicken restaurant for lunch. When they came home, they told their mother a little story. They said that a white van was following them around.
To and from the chicken place?
After they got the chicken, they followed them back home.
Okay.
So, as the day went on, the girls, they switched schools. So, to get to their school now, they had to take the bus. But they didn't have no money for the bus. So, their mom, she called a family friend, Ted, who's also the girl's godfather, for some money. He said, yes, I have $20 for them. They can come and get the money.
Okay.
So the girls, they went and got the $20 from their godfather, but he gave them a little extra money to stop by the gas station to get some snacks for school.
Okay. That's nice of him.
But the girls, they did something kind of different on the walk home. They stopped by their cousin Wanda's house and said, hey, do you want to walk back home with us? But her mother said no because it's already 4 p.m. and it'll be nighttime soon. So she's like, no, my daughter's going to stay home.
The cousin's mom said no?
Yes. So after that, they stopped by their sister's house and asked their sister, hey, can you walk us home? She just had her baby a couple weeks, so she wasn't able.
So the twins had a sister that didn't live with them?
Yes. So they asked her, can she walk them home? She said, no, I can't because she just gave birth.
Okay.
So after that, they went to the local gas station to get some snacks. They got some candy, some chips, and some sodas. The clerk at the gas station, she was very familiar with the girls. She'd seen them a couple times in the store with her family. You know, they was friends with her. But she said nothing seemed unusual when the twins came. But she didn't really see the twins leave because time she looked up, the twins was gone.
They probably had a bad feeling. They kept asking people to walk them home.
Right.
They should have probably told them, hey, like...
But I mean, they already told their mom that somebody was following them in a white van earlier.
I know, but whenever they arrived to the cousin's house, hey, you know.
Yeah. So after that, sign up the gas station, the girls were never seen again.
They got caught.
They got what?
They got caught.
Got caught?
Got.
Okay.
You never heard that?
Rob?
They got.
No, I've never heard that before.
Oh, okay.
So after that, this last sighting of them, their mom, she's got worried. So she called the godfather and said, hey, have you seen the twins? He said, yes. I seen the twins. They got the money and I gave them some extra money. So between the godfather and the sister house is very close distance. So the mom, she called the sister, said, hey, was your sisters there? She like, yeah, mom, they was there, but they asked me to walk home and I said no. And they said I was going to the gas station to get some snacks. She said, oh, okay. So she got her younger daughter, who was 12 at the time, Shantae, and she said, let's go walk the route to the gas station in case we see them. So like she would see them if they're walking back, when they, she would see them the route.
What time did the mom notice that she hadn't arrived? They hadn't arrived.
So with this story, it's kind of crazy because you don't know like everything for sure, because you will figure out why.
No.
Because with this story, the police didn't do a good job. Just know that for sure. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. So the mother and the young girl, Shantae, they walked to the gas station. They asked the clerk like, yeah, we saw them. And I'm like, oh, okay, they haven't returned home. So she like weirded out about this because she saw the twins on their way back if they left the gas station, because it was like a straight route. So like they had to pass each other on the way.
Right.
So after that, she called the police department. She said, hey, my daughters are missing. I need to make a police report. They said, ma'am, you have to wait 24 hours. I want everybody to know this. It's not true to wait 24 hours if somebody go missing. That is a false statement. The police are only doing that because they think in case the person just come back, you're wasting your time. The police
their
really
time.
Well, yeah, their time.
And their resources.
True
that we pay for.
True that.
So.
Yeah, so they don't believe in like really looking for runaways. Definitely 15-year-old girls, come on, like, oh, she ran away. After 24 hours, their mother was looking for them. She was searching for her child. She called the police station like, hey, it's been 24 hours. Let me tell you about the report.
Did they ever tell their mom that there was a van?
Yes, they told their mom when they got back home from the chicken restaurant.
But the mom didn't think, hey, let me be more cautious. And
no, she didn't.
She was like, oh, okay. Go to the store.
No, not to the store.
Go get some money.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen.
I think she was hoping that. Other than that, the mom, she reported to the police at 24 hours that her daughters was missing. They came. And to be honest, this report was so bad, babe. I mean, so bad. Let me tell you something. They got their last name wrong. They got the address where they went missing wrong. They got Jeanette middle name wrong. They got basically every information that you need in the report. They got wrong.
Wow. So they didn't really take the time to even get a good report.
Oh, girl. When she was reporting to them, the police said, oh, they just ran away. They're okay. So, and the police had already, the girls was run away. They didn't search for them. The police, let me tell you something, they didn't search at all for them.
Did police know that there was a suspicious vehicle following them?
Babe, Danette, she had seizure medicine. So she had to take her medicine. If not, she was going to have a seizure. So they was like, she didn't run away because she had to take her medicine every day. If not, she's going to have seizure. This is how deadly, It's very important for her to take her medicine.
Right.
But she doesn't run away. She ran away. Please, they didn't look for them. The family looked for them. And the crazy thing about it, people in their neighborhood didn't really know the twins were missing because it was no local news on them. Let me tell you something else. The mama, she's waiting around. Every knock, every phone call, she's answering. She's searching for her daughter. She's calling the sheriff's office every day, asking, have you looked for my daughters? Have you looked for my daughters? Girl, it's going to make you mad. A year and a half later, right? They finally talked to the mom, Miss Louise. They talked to her, they're like, oh, we closing her case.
Why, they found them?
No. They said because they're 17. So that means it's okay. They ran away on their own. So in some parts of Georgia, they believe like even if a little girl went missing at 5 years old, if she turns 17 or 18, they could take their name off of the missing report because it's okay. They wanted to leave.
That's literally a cop-out. You can't say somebody ran away unless you know they ran away.
Correct.
They're just wanting to close as many cases. But the thing is, we don't pay you guys to open and close cases. We pay you guys to figure out what happened.
You're absolutely correct. And they said, oh, they seen the girls. Their teacher, their principal said, oh, yeah, I saw them. I called out their name and they ran away.
What?
Yeah, he didn't see them. Oh, and another thing, it was so many false narratives about the girls the police made about them. They said that Lana just told you that. Also, they say, oh, one of the girls got pregnant and they ran away. Both of them.
How do they know that?
And the crazy thing about it, their older sister, she was a teen mom. So trust me, their mom wouldn't really care, you know? I mean, it probably like, you know, you should have waited. But they had an older sister that was a teen mom. So it's like, it didn't matter to the mom that much if they was pregnant, and they knew that.
Right.
Oh, another story was what they found out was the girls went into foster care because the mama didn't want them. I know. And the mom was like, everybody like, but they didn't take her medicine. They didn't take my daughter medicine. So if that's true, why I didn't come and get their stuff and get the woman medicine?
Right.
That's the craziest thing about it.
They didn't run away.
No, they didn't. We all know that. And it's a theory why I think the police didn't really care about them at all. 1993, the missing and explored children called Miss Louise and said, we are taking your daughters off the website.
Why?
Because the police called and said that they had been found.
But they weren't.
They weren't. Miss Louise said, no, they haven't. She like, my children are not, you know, we haven't seen them. She's like, oh, okay. So Missing and Explored Agency called the police. They're like, oh, yeah, they've been found.
They called so the agency called the police?
No, they called the police and talked to the police. And the police said, oh, yes, they have been found.
To confirm.
Yes.
So the police contacted the agency, and then the agency contacted Louise.
Miss Louise, yes.
The mom of the twins.
Mm-hmm.
The mom said, no, they haven't. And then they called the police to confirm.
And the police said, oh, yes, they have.
So they did end up taking them off the website?
They did. In 1993, the body of an African girl was found in South Carolina.
Did they try and make a facial reconstruction?
They actually did. And the family felt strongly that it could be Jeanette.
Oh, wow.
So they called and they're like, oh, it's not her. But they had no DNA from like Miss Louise and Jeanette to say it was them. It was her.
I don't know. This to me it's smelling more and more like a cover up.
See, that's why I was saying this is my theory. Wait till our theory.
Okay.
The girl they have found, nobody know who she is. To this day, we do not know who she is.
Well, I mean, the person that was found, what age group did she fall in?
They were
fall under
around the same age group the girls was. It's like the same age group. They felt that she may be a victim of Mr. Washington.
Who's Mr. Washington?
Oh, girl, let me tell you about Mr. Washington. He ain't related to me, guys. He ain't related to me. Let's put that out there. John Patrick Washington. He was a serial rapist and murderer.
And he was a pastor?
No, John Patrick Washington.
Oh.
He was a serial rapist and murderer who was operating not far from where the girls live in his spare time. Washington would often abduct his victims, shoot, and also sexual assault women. He claimed his ex-girlfriend had infected him with HIV, and his brutal assault was efforts to get back at his woman.
So if the police thought Mr. Washington did it, why wasn't Mr. Washington behind bars?
Oh, he was. They finally caught him, but he died soon later, so they never could find all his victims of who he actually killed.
So he wasn't in prison when the twins went missing.
He was operating around that time and around that area when the girls went missing.
Oh.
And said about it, the women that he will assault and murder was look like just like the girls.
They fit the profile. So if Mr. Washington had the girls, they only found one body. Wouldn't that mean that the other girl was still with him if he didn't murder her?
No, he murdered all of them. No, he didn't murder all of them. Put that back. He didn't murder all of them. He shot some of them survived. So some of them still survived. He beat them, raped them, everything.
They ran away?
Hold on, wait. Trigger warning. You got to put trigger warning out there. We don't want to get, flag. Yes. I didn't really look into his case because I felt like, I'm sorry to say this. Y'all going to see my theory. I don't think he did it. Because all his victims were located in the same spot, and that's how he knows. Some of them did survive, some of them didn't. So sometimes they got away from his attack.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, wouldn't that mean, though, that the other twin was still alive? Or maybe ran away? Or
Well, if she ran away, she would probably went back home.
Exactly. So, then...
Or they just found that twin body. It could be they just found one twin. They couldn't find the other one yet. He could have, but if he gonna kill him, he gonna put them together.
I feel like it. Like, why go to two separate locations and...
Wrong. They're gonna be close together.
That's, putting them... But, I mean, I guess I understand if, one passed more suddenly than the other, but...
Right.
That's a lot of work.
Right.
For one person.
Mm-hmm. So when Jeanette, she got over age, she started looking to her sister in the case. The sister, the younger sister.
Oh, the oldest sister?
The younger sister. She was 12 when they went missing. And I know this kind of hurt her because she wanted to go with them that day. Mm. They told her no, like stay at home. And she like always think like, hey, if I would have went,
But she was too young to even do anything. She would have been a victim herself, I feel.
No, she's feeling like if she would have went, she wouldn't be alive today. Because she was 12 and they was 15.
Yeah.
In 2013, there was a new sheriff admitted. His name was Richard Roundtree. He is the first African American to be sheriff in that town.
Oh, okay. So this was a predominantly white?
White, very white.
Okay.
So their sister, she was excited. She like, finally, somebody gonna listen to me. And he said it. He like, hey, I'm gonna help you guys find your sisters. I got you.
The way you're explaining it seems like he didn't.
Well, he said he was. He said he was. This was the first time. Just no do the math. David went missing in 1990. In 2013, first time they ever got an age progression picture. Mm. That long. And their sister, she was so excited because she wanted to see how her sisters would have looked at this time. Mm-hmm. He did everything. He even got their mom and their sister DNA. So just in case having a system, just in case they did have a body, they will have it. But their father, he said no. Let me say about their father. Their father was very abusive towards their mom. He really didn't care about his kids at all, which he's dead now. He died. But he didn't care about them.
But the mom and the dad weren't together.
They weren't together. She finally left them. So that's why the girls was, taking the bus to school because they wasn't in that district no more.
But they had to get the permission of both parents?
No. So they got the mom and the sisters.
DNA?
Yeah, so they have in the system.
But not the dad.
They wanted the dad so they could have, more of a thing.
He said no.
He said no. And he tried to tell his other kids not to do it. And he told them, hey, if the police asks about me, say I'm dead.
Wow.
Very well.
Unless he kidnapped them.
Mm-hmm. So finally, they add them back to the website. The missing exploited children, they finally add them back to the website.
Because guess what? It turns out they didn't find the girls.
Right. So he opened up the case. But let me tell you something. Nothing changed. Nothing changed at all.
In what ways?
He did his little thing, but he never really looked for the girls.
What about
because he closed the case? He said, "Oh, they okay."
Oh, he.
See, that's why my theory. When I say my theory, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I see."
So he was trying to find them, and then something got in his ear.
Something got into his ear. Everybody keeps saying these girls ran away, or they've been found, or this, or this, or this. They have no proof.
Wow.
So nobody looked for these girls at all. I mean, nothing. I mean, his little look, that's all. Well, the family looked for them. But the police department, they never looked for them.
They always kept coming back with the same theory. Mm-hmm. They ran away. Mm-hmm. They've been found. But they cannot provide a location. Mm-hmm. And they closed the case.
Closed the case. Well, the case is still I won't say in the family world, the case is open. Because the younger sister, she's looking for her sisters. Because even the people said, like, I'm not going to state somebody because I heard this on a podcast. They said that one of the sheriffs said, "Oh, the girls are dead." That's what they told the family. "Oh, the girls are dead." And the younger sister said, "Well, even if they are dead, I would like to know what happened to my sisters."
The new sheriff, did he ever do a DNA test on the body of the girl that was found?
Yes, it wasn't them.
It wasn't a match?
Because they have their DNA in the system, and they put the sisters, my mom, DNA in the system. So that would have hit, but didn't hit.
But if something or someone is trying to cover up something, it was
right.
never going to be.
You're right. It's sad this story is like, that's really it. Like, they are still looking for their sisters to this day. They have been missing for 34 years.
The police knows where they're at.
Oh, yes, they do.
But they're hiding.
Danette and Jeanette were all account normal teenagers. The girls described as a black with brown eyes and black hair. Both styling to a jerry curl hidden above their shoulders. At the time of their missing, Jeanette was wearing a blue pullover, a white turtleneck, and a beige skirt with white stockings and white sneakers. Danette was wearing a white Mickey Mouse shirt, white jeans, and a pair of black shoes. They were also fraternal twins and looked similar in many ways, but not identical. At this date of the recording, they've been missing for 34 years, 2 months, and 12 days.
Oh.
And that's the case of the Millbrook twins. And let's get into some theories. So, do you want to go first or do you want to go first? Because I really want to go first.
You can go.
I think it was the police. I think it was a cop. I'm telling you, it's how they doing the case. It's like every time somebody get on their case, they stop. It's because somebody said, hey, don't get in this case. It's for a reason why. I think it was a cop that did it. Or if it wasn't a cop, I think a family member of a cop.
Yeah, it was, or maybe even somebody that was like a politician or something of that sort.
I think it was somebody high up because it's like, why do they keep getting shut down left and right? Like, even when we talk about the Alexa Patterson case, they did look into her case. They will look into your case. And I watch a lot of, true crime shows. And when they usually don't look into a person case like that, it's because they know who it is. They already know it's somebody, probably a cop or
somebody they're trying to protect.
Right. I think it's somebody trying to protect. My theory is after they left the gas station, the lady saw them. I think it probably was a cop or somebody like, hey, the girls are already nervous. And I think a cop probably stopped and tried to talk to them. And they're like, hey, you need to ride home. And the girls, they trust her because they was already nervous because I felt like they knew something because they stopped by 2 people's houses to ask for a way, like to ask for someone to walk them home. They asked for a reason.
Right, but the thing about it is, I don't think they let the person know.
Right.
The only person that we know that they did tell was their mom, but the mom didn't really do anything about it. Like, which, I mean, I'm not here to judge, but I would probably take a precaution.
Right.
And it's like they were trying to do everything in their power to have somebody walk with them, but it's like everybody turned them down. And I feel like it was probably because they didn't tell them the full story.
Yes, I think if they actually told their sister, because I'm putting each person that they told, well, Wanda, she was a teenager. Her mama said no. And her mama said no because it was getting dark.
But the thing about it is, like, I mean, I guess the twins were not her kids, but...
It was also in the 90s too, though. So you have to think about the time period.
But it's like... She was thinking about her daughter, but not the twin.
Right. And also their sister. She just gave birth. So I felt like she would have if she didn't just give birth. And also she probably wasn't like in the mind headspace, Because I know after I gave birth to Sienna, I was just tired.
No, I understand. Like, I understand the sister, but the cousin's mom, like...
Even their mom, she...
she was like, oh, it's too dangerous for my daughter to go. But, I mean, it's a good thing that she didn't let her daughter go. But she should have said, well, it's going to be dangerous for all of you guys to go. So Maybe if she had like her husband or, somebody who was like older.
Do you think they didn't let their little sister go because they knew something? Like they had a feeling?
They had a feeling. And I mean,
probably like, think about it. Somebody was probably bothering them.
Yeah, they knew they were reaching out for help, but
they just didn't speak up. That's the problem. They never said.
But they did to the mom.
Well, they just said like, hey, a white van was following them. And looking into it, you guys can, because with our podcast, we tell the story, but we don't go into much detail of the case because we really want to talk about our theories a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking back, I heard the Fall in Line when I was doing this case study. I heard the Fall in Line case and I heard Crime Junkie. And it's been so many people that tried to look into this case. Like they had a friend look into it. He was a CEO. They had another person look into it. And they all look into it and then they changed their mind. Mm-hmm. And so it's like they had to know something too.
They're being influenced.
And I feel like, did they get paid hush money? Or when I read the story, Jeanette, she was getting bullied. Her older sister took care of the problem. She fought the girls and the police came and they separate them. What if that's how they met that police? I'm not saying it's a police officer that did it, but I'm just saying, what if that's how they met the person, like in that situation?
To what? I'm sorry.
So Jeanette was getting bullied.
Mm-hmm.
So her oldest, or her twin, the one who's the feisty twin, she took care of the girls. They got to fighting. And the police got called, but nothing, like no charges ever
made.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, what if that was the day that they met the police officer?
I don't know. I still think it's the white van. Somebody in a white van.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, to me, it'll be kind of dumb if you are a police officer or somebody like a powerful politician and you go kidnap somebody. Like, right. I feel like you're either going to try and hide your identity or have somebody else do your dirty work. Another thing that I was thinking about was the dad. He didn't want to do a DNA test and he kept telling his kids not to do it either. What if he got paid some hush money?
So it's actually a theory about this. I didn't want to bring up the case because he had a friend. He was in jail and one of the sisters, they sent him a letter in mail and they said, because it was in jail, they said, hey, do you know anything that happened? And he said yes. And he told a whole story about the twins going to their dad's house. One of the twins was getting drunk and high, and one of the people tried to take advantage of her. And the other twins stopped it. And then they started beating on the girls, and that's how they died. The dad was there. But they said, like, how the guy said the time period. He said a guy in a wheelchair was there. The guy in the wheelchair was there. But he wasn't in a wheelchair yet. Because the guy, he got paralyzed. So he wasn't in the wheelchair yet when the twins were missing. So they feel like he was telling a different case because they did find some bodies where they said that they buried them of two girls. I tried to look into that case. I really did, but I couldn't find well, I found evidence of him telling this story, but I couldn't find evidence of the other little girls that was murdered. But they did say they found some people.
Did they ever do any DNA tests on?
See, I couldn't really go, I couldn't find detailed evidence. So that's why I didn't want to tell it. But if you listen to Fall in Line and the oxygen thing, you will hear kind of this story a little bit. But I don't feel like the dad had anything to do with it. I just feel he was low down. I felt like, well, you know what? He probably know who did it. What if it was like a friend of a cop,
Yeah, but
because they say he lived over there in the area where the twins were missing.
They got kidnapped shortly after they moved away.
Remember that.
And they got kidnapped close to the dad's house.
Right.
How far away did the mom move?
She didn't move very far because they never said how far she moved away, but they still was able to go to that school. But they just couldn't they couldn't walk to the school no more. They had to take a bus. So, I don't know how the school district was back in that day.
But the thing about it is they disappeared closer to the mom's house than the dad's house.
Like right in the middle. So walking distance from, because it was at a gas station. So like the gas station, like right in the middle of where they got the money from and their home.
And the gas station didn't have any cameras?
No.
Well, even if they did, it would have been...
waste of time. Because they never went and talked to the cashier lady. They never talked to her because nobody knew the girls was missing. Because no local news or anything like that. And one thing the sheriff said, he was like, I will match the reward. He never did. He said on a case that he really feels strongly about. I feel like it's a lot of covering up. I feel like, sad to say, I don't think the girls are with us anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like they knew they killer. Not knew like, oh, but I feel like they knew something was going to happen. I feel like they had a target on their back, like somebody who was harassing them. I feel like someone who was harassing them and they didn't tell like their mom or friends or anything like that. They kept it hush hush. Because it seemed like, this case seemed like a hush case. It doesn't seem like, oh, somebody for sure did it. Because the report was wrong. They took them off the missing website for a reason.
Right.
Why would you call? Like, why would you really call? Like, I wonder who was the police officer that called and told them that. That could be another thing. Because for you to personally call and say, hey, take them off the website, you said that for a reason.
Right.
So I think probably like the cop that called and said, hey, this is what, take them off. He could have done something to them because for you to go through that much trouble to call.
I don't think it was a cop. Honestly, I think it was somebody with
power,
money. That's the only type of people that can influence law enforcement that much. And it's like, even before they reported them missing, it's like the police already knew what was going on. I feel like if it was a cop, I mean, there's like good cops, bad cops. If it was a cop, I feel like they don't have enough people to back them up. If you get what I'm saying.
Right.
So like a lot of people have a job, but not everybody's your friend. A lot of people are not going to want to put their job on the line for somebody, small like that.
Right.
Now, if it's orders from somebody that's higher above, they have to respect or they have to do what that person is saying.
So you think it was like a politic?
I think it was either a politician or somebody high in power. You've either like the sheriff or like a sergeant or, somebody who's high. Or maybe even like a mayor or something like that. I don't think it was a cop. I think the cop is just being influenced by whoever this powerful figure is, to be honest.
Or wait a minute. Or what if the higher person, right? It was that child. Because somebody you're going to fight heavy for is your kid.
Yeah.
Because think about it. A politician, they not going to ride around in a white van,
That's what I'm saying.
But a kid, like, a teenager or a young adult, they going to do it. They going to go to certain areas. So what if the high person child wanted to date one of the twins? And the twin was like, no, I don't want to date them.
That was my next question. So did they go to like a predominantly white school as well? Or did they?
They never said what schools. That's what I'm saying. This case is so hard because we don't have a lot of facts.
But you said that the white was predominantly.
So this is like, they lived in the hood. So probably black.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, certain people have certain tastes. I don't know. I just really think it's somebody who.
It's a cover up.
No, for sure it is a cover-up, but I feel like it's somebody with a lot of money, a lot of power, and a lot to lose.
Bingo. I'm sad that nobody other than the family care about these girls.
No justice has been
No justice,
made.
no peace.
No justice has been made for these girls, and it's really heartbreaking that they feared for their lives.
Right.
They reached out for help, but nothing was done. And then when other people tried to reach out. They were shut down. They were told to be quiet, and they were basically dismissed.
I think one thing is about this, I feel like if the police really look back, now police, because 2013, I don't know if they share up there, I didn't do the research, but if you look back, if whoever they are covering up for, this is not his first one. It probably is his first one, but this is not his last one. Because he know he can get away with it. It probably more girls out there with this same similarity. Because I'm thinking about, as you saying, most people who murder and he know he's getting away with it, you think he's going to stop?
No.
His father or mother is covering up his crime. And if you're the father or mother who's covering up the crime, why would you do that? I mean, that's your child and all, but think about that other family.
They have a lot to lose.
They have no answers. Say that the kid is finally deceased. Okay, tell the family so they can bury their kid, you know?
No, because then that gives up
Right.
who they are. I mean, it's not going to happen.
It's sad to say this because it's 34 years. Think about not knowing where your kid is for 34 years. What happened to them?
Yeah.
I think it's more cases out there probably familiar, like similar to these girls that we're not really looking into because they didn't stop. You can't tell me he murdered them and didn't stop.
Yeah.
This is a case of the Millbrook twins.
Let us know if you have any information or if any law enforcement out there would like to say anything.
If you have a case that we should look into and tell our theories about, write it in the comments or go into our social media accounts because we have it linked below and we will look into that case.
And give our theory. Until next time.
I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And this is Lesbian Detective. Thank you for watching.
Signing out.